So got the diffs out. Been having a good look over the chassis. Doesn't look too bad. This winch mechanism is a bit of an afterthought. I think they're supposed to be on a like a light pipe frame or something, the spare. So, and it's been, I don't think that's Toyota, it's been welded to the frame, as have many things back in the day. I guess for the farmer, the welder was more handy than a spanner or a bolts or a hardware store, so that's what happened. Yeah, the chassis looks okay. I haven't had a really good look at it, but I'll strip it all back, get all the brake lines, all these brackets and everything off it, get it right back to there's nothing more can come off, and then I'll clean it and have a good look at it, and just to ensure that it's a good thing to keep going with the chassis anyway. So I have got another one on the donor, but I'd prefer to use the 67 chassis. It's a little bit different in places, but so now I've got a decision to make of how I prepare the chassis, whether I just clean it, paint it, clean it as best I can, get it sandblasted, which it's not really going to do much extra. I mean, they can get the sandblaster into those webbing holes, I suppose, or maybe, I'm so fond of the molasses, maybe like get it chemically dipped, because it does get in everywhere, and then get it I think they can chemically dip it and then coat it as well. That would be the best, and then just chassis lack it after that. Anyway, I'll do a bit of research, but I've got a few hours ahead of me yet, stripping it all out. So we've got it down to the bare chassis. There she be. Got a few problems with it. All this back section is a little bit bent up. A few parts have been welded on. A few tear outs, but that's not too bad, all that stuff. The real problem is the rust here. It's rusted right through there, and there's a stiffener bracket, you can see it in behind for the front spring hanger. Both sides, that stiffener is rusted and it's swelled in the chassis. It's another little section up here that's swelled a bit too right at the front. So it's okay. I mean, I can repair all that. So the go is to I'll get the donor chassis out, strip it down, and put them side by side. And so what I've decided to do with this rust is I'll just have a look at the chassis on this side first. I'll take this webbing section off. I might cut it vertically because it's a little bit rusted inside, more than a little bit, up until that crossover pipe. So I might, I'm thinking I'll just put a vertical cut down there, join that there. So take that section out, drill the rivets out. I've just center popped these, so I'm just going to drill them with a, I don't know, maybe a 4mm drill, then just come back with a 10 or a 12 or something and knock the heads off and just punch them out. That rear, actually it's the front mount for the rear tray. It's got rivets on top holding it, which I'll have to take out because they go all the way through. But the outside of it is actually welded, which is factory because the other chassis is exactly the same, it's welded. This pipe business here has been an afterthought, and grind all that out, or I can use that perch, that mount, but I'll try and stick with all the original stuff. Anyway, so that's where we're at. I'll take that section out, just see how bad the rust is, and maybe that's the way to bring the old chassis back. That's what I'd like to do, but not at the cost of strength and all that later on. I don't want to put good money after bad. I think, anyway, we'll see how we go when we get that section out. Just pulling apart the donor chassis. I see she's been resprung at some point. Might need redoing. Also, I did notice the diff. It's not exactly a limo. Might need a bit of work there. Hopefully the old 67 diff's alright. Just in the process of preparing the chassis. I think I'm going to get it chemically dipped. Then they dip it again, I think, clean the chemicals off, clean the acid off or whatever, then dip it again in phosphate to protect it. Yeah, I'm going to find out more about it next week. But this spring perch suffered some trauma. It's cracked right through. So I drill the rivets out. The rivets are quite soft, they're just mild steel. I've just been drilling them out with the 3mm, sort of about, I don't know, halfway through, 3/4 of the way through. These ones, I think, the little ones are 3/8, they're 9.5mm. These ones, I think, this is my first big ones. There's two sizes, so this might be 1/2 inch. If it is, I'll just drill it out with, say, a 13mm or something to knock the head right off. And I've just been punching them. They seem to come out okay. I repaired where they'd welded on the sump guard. All the bolts were broken, that's why they welded it on into the captive nuts. That all cleaned up okay. So yeah, this chassis is going to be good. 3 out of the 4 brackets I've taken off, both chassis, had this massive crack down there. This has been repaired before too. R.I.P. Cruiser. Oops. Rest in peace. Done us proud. For 51 years, now it's time. Carried many a good man, maybe a bad man. Gone to get stuff for the home, the house, or escaping the authorities. It's time to move on to a better world. Hopefully you'll come back. Probably 3 or 4 Kias. See ya. So I'm in the process of getting the chassis ready for, I'm going to get it chemically dipped. So I've removed a lot of the suspension components, so any that I thought might be rusted underneath or loose. And now I'm just going through all the captive nuts on the chassis, running a die through them, pulling all the broken studs out. So I've never had much luck with drilling them and easy out, so I'm going to try this old method of welding the washer to the broken stud, then welding a nut to the washer and then pulling it out. So we'll see how we go. So got the bolt on it. Oh, I do believe that's worked. Anyway, that'll work. Just work it off, and it's 1 down, 2 to go. Well, actually a lot more than 2, but 2 to go right in this position. And number 2. Okay, 1 more to go. And the last one in this section, easy. No, this one's the best one. So I think the heat, when you're welding them, the heat goes down into the bolt, and that's what sort of cracks it. So I just pull them out like that, put them in a little bit, get the grinder, cut the bolt back off there and just use it for the next one. So that was pretty good. A lot more successful than trying to drill them out with easy outs, which, I don't know, no matter how careful I am, rarely works. Righto, chassis all ready to go. Been repaired where it had to be repaired. Knocked all the rivets out, cleaned up all the threads. Took a lot of the suspension components off that were just been hammered really. It had to repair a rear shock mount, all the thread had gone. And that's all come up good. So this is the donor chassis. It's the best one. The other one's, well, the other one's not long for this world. So I'm going to get it chemically stripped. They strip all the paint off first, remove all the rust, then give it a coat of lanolin, I think. And I'll just steam clean that off when I get it home and hit it with a bit of Pour 15 chassis paint. At the same time, I'm going to get the 67 cab stripped with paint and rust as well. It's a fair way to take it, so I might as well take both of them at the same time and then do the repairs after. This is all ready to go. There are a few repairs. I think I'm going to have to put the floor out of the donor into this one, a whole floor, and this rear cab section too. Anyway, it's all fun. Once I've got these two back, well, when they're gone, I'll start working on the diffs and things. Get the chassis rolling as quick as I can. It'll be interesting to see how this thing comes back. Anyway, that's where I'm at. Sort of like another stage complete for the chassis anyway. And this one is just beginning on the cab.